Come on, Mike. Can y'all hear me? Sounds like it. Y'all gonna be my guinea pigs this morning. I'm trying something a little new that I've been wanting to do. You can see I brought my dog with me today, so I'm gonna use him for just a few demonstrations, and maybe we can tie it into some of the things that God does for us and all that. But I decided to try it here because I don't know if y'all have ever seen the movie Lonesome Dove, and not that great a movie. I watched it whenever I was still a heathen, and but anyway, there was a guy that rode with the Texas Rangers when they were younger, and they were good friends, and he was a little bit on the wild side. Well, later on, they all retired, and this friend of theirs, he come back and was with them for a while, and then he went on doing his own thing again, and they're moving these cows up because they had decided that there's going to be cowboys, and so they're moving the cows from Texas to Montana. And well, anyway, this buddy that they had, he become a horse thief. He fell in with the wrong crowd, become a horse thief, and done some really terrible things. Well, so the other ones, they found out about it, and they went chasing horse thieves, and they didn't know that it was their buddy that was doing it. Well, they caught him, and they're getting up there, and it was 3 or 4 of them. And they done hung the first 3, and then there's this buddy sitting on a horse, and you could see he's about to cry. And he looks and he says, "Well, guys, it's been a good ride." He said, "But who better to be hanged by than your friends?" So if it don't work out here, who better to have something not work out with, than your friends? So they're usually your worst critics or hardest critics. But anyway, so if it don't work out, we'll be okay. Mike, are you still up there? Can you, we'll be doing some things. Can you let the screen down and actually, put me on the camera and have the screen up there? What's that? Yeah, I was wondering if you could use the camera to portray it up on the screen, because if I get him down here doing something, a lot of the people, they can't see it. So when I'm down here fooling with him, they'll be able to see it on the screen if you can do that. Okay. All right. Well. Okay. All right. Well, that's fine. We'll just make do with what it is. Y'all may have to use a little bit of imagination where the dog's at. You can probably hear him because he'll be breathing hard. So, but anyway, the title of my sermon is "Just a Dumb Dog." We've all had one, hadn't we? They just a dumb dog. But usually they grow old, and when they pass away, it hurts. It hurts. So, but anyway, most of y'all know me, but just give a little background. Lonnie McCollough. I was raised up on a farm. I spent 1 year in Korea with my, most of the time, lovely wife. If you're at home, sometimes that can, my lovely wife. I'll just leave it at that. I spent 10 years at the fire department in Meridian, Mississippi, and probably put in, actually not probably, I know I did, put in over 400 plus hours of different schooling, ranging from overland search and rescue to inside building search and rescue, fire suppression, instructor, fire officer, you name it. So I know a whole lot about a lot of stuff, but not a whole lot about really anything. So we'll go from there. Been self-employed for over 20 years, shoeing horses, and been training dogs for at least 6 years. So, but my buddy, come here, Rocky. What is it, buddy? Huh? He is what you call a HRCH, which is a hunter retriever champion. Now, He's 6 years old. What that means is that he's been judged in front of a panel of judges and proved that he can pick up multiple marks, throw down, 3 of them on memory, and also run blinds with hand signals. So that's what his hunter retriever champion means, which it don't mean a whole lot to him. He's just happy to be a dog. Ain't that right? All right, come here. Place. That's not the right place. Right here. There you go. I want y'all to get into this, I want y'all to turn to 1 Corinthians 15:22. We're just going to read the first half of this verse to start with. We'll finish it up later on. But I want y'all to really look at the first. Where's my brain at? There she is. She showed up today. Thank you very much. Anytime I have any trouble, if she's around, she's my brain. I can ask her technical questions. So what do you call, that's not the full sentence, but right there, it's not a paragraph, where it says, for as in Adam all die, and then it stops there. What do you call that for the first part of the sentence? That's a phrase. All right, so we're just looking at the first phrase there. For as in Adam all die. All right. Now, I also want y'all to go look at James 1, verse 2. Now, and two in the first verse we just read, for as in Adam all die. Now, we're all descendants of Adam, right? Is anybody descendant of anybody else other than Adam? No. So it pretty much tells us right here that we're all going to die, but we don't have a choice for that about that. All right, James 1 and 2. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations. Now, so we done found out we're all going to die. Now, here it is. It's saying that we should count it a joy when we fall into diverse temptations. I never have considered it a joy to fall into trying times. It's never been fun. Has anybody had fun in the trying times? I mean, that's just, it's not natural. But here we are. That's what it says. So what I get out of these two verses is we're born to die. Not only are we born to die, we're born in a miserable world. From the moment we're conceived, we are inherently sinners through Adam. That paints a good picture, don't it? So here we are in this world, born to die, sinners, miserable. But thankfully, that's not the end of the story. But the question is, what can we do about it? And I can remember a time when I got started into the dogs. I had been in the fire department for, 6-7 years. And the thing of it was that Rachel was staying at home taking care of the kids. So there was no income from that. And then the fire department, when you work in a job as a civil servant, you're not getting paid the best. In this fire department, you have a 24-hour shift and you're off 48 hours. So it ended up on average, you work 54 hours a week just being away from home. So when I would get off from work, then it would become, a rush from work and I shoot horses. Or helping my dad on the farm, or it's always something, So at the end of the week, it's 100+ hours. Well, after a while of this, I couldn't do it anymore, I could not keep up anymore. Something's got to change. And at this time, the oil field was really booming. I mean, I was working for guys that have been in the oil field for a few years, and they're making $200,000 a year. I mean, who wouldn't want to make $200,000 a year? I mean, that would make life a whole lot stressful. And they was only working 6 months out of the year, so they had time off to spend with their family. I mean, what could not be nice about that? I mean, yeah, it's tough out there, I know, don't get me wrong. But it sounded really appealing. But there's a little issue there, is you had to work 7 days a week out there, whether it was Saturday, Sunday, rain, shine, didn't matter. There's no religion out there at all. And, a lot of my family members, they wasn't too crazy about it. Church members wasn't too crazy about it. That's not a good thing to do. So, well, I felt like I didn't have a choice. I had to go, just had to go. And before I went, I had been thinking about getting a dog, as in a puppy, maybe even a lab like Rocky. What you think? Was that a good idea? Don't know, maybe. So, anyway, I'm getting ready to leave, and there's this black dog that shows up, I ain't got time to fool with no dog, and I sure didn't want no stray dog coming up, and I'm leaving in a week. My wife comes in, she tells me, there's a dog out in the yard. Well, she ain't had time to do anything with it, so I go outside, and I'm fixing to take care of her. And y'all all know what that is. We're going to take a trip down to the woods. And got everything ready. We had all intentions of doing it. And one of my boys, I don't know if it was Hagen, was it you or Garrett? I don't know. They was like, Dad, wouldn't you want a lab? I said, well, yeah, but I wasn't wanting that kind of lab. So, anyway, long story short on that, I didn't take her down to the woods. And I told Rachel, if you want me to keep this dog, you're going to have to watch her, because I'm fixing to leave and go to Houston, and I'm going to be gone for a week, and then it'll be every other week or gone 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever. I don't know what it's going to be. So she said, all right, I'll keep her. Everything's all good, And I had no idea what was going to transpire in the next month, year, years. And so I took a trip to Houston. And I got there, and we went through all the doctor's appointments and all that for the physical. And they done an MRI on my back, and they come back and said, you have a word this long that's wrong with your back. And I think it's something like spondylolisthesis. What I know y'all can't hear, but it was a word this long, And what it is was my vertebrae wasn't sitting straight on top of each other. I had one sitting off to the side like this. So they said, you fail the criteria, and they sent me home. I had done made plans to get this job, and I was crushed when they sent me home. I did not know how I was going to support my family. I mean, it was craziness, the crushing feeling that I had, But, thankfully, that wasn't the end of the story. It was an answered prayer, although I did not know it at the time. So, when I got back, I had to start to rebuild my life. Even though I still had the same life, I had to rebuild. But I didn't know how I was going to rebuild or what I was going to rebuild on. But I had to make it work. So, anyway, I got to fooling with her and got interested in the dogs, and wound up, she was a good family pet, and I taught her some stuff, and she was another one of them, just a dumb dog. But I found Rocky. Come here, Rocky. And Rocky, I'm going to just show y'all some of the stuff that he does. Like he'll heel on either side. You can't get them yet. Now, I got a question. Who expects Rocky to mess up? Samuel does. Who does? One person does. I'm going to tell y'all, he's going to mess up. I expect it. You know, it's all part of it. It's okay. You know, we're fooling with a dog. He's going to mess up. It's part of life. It's part of dog training. We work through it. Come here. Right here. Heel. Come here. Heel. Oh, right here. Come here. Here. Right here. Good. All right. Sit. Good. Okay. So, you know, they're not machines. They're dogs. They have a mind just like we do. Sit. But for the most part, he does what we tell him to. So I'm going to see if he'll come heel on my left side. And he'll heel on my left side because that's what he's always taught to do. It's a little harder to get him to heel on the right side. I'm going to put my left hand down. Here. No problem. Sit. Now, let's see if he'll heel on the right side. He's supposed to come to my hand here. So we'll see. Hey, right here. There we go. Good. All right. Good. Come here. Place. Sit. Sit. There. Oh, you see something, don't you? You want that? I think he wants one. Do y'all? And he's going to get one. And this will be one. These are not thrown bumpers. Now, I can't do a blind in here. But he'll pick them up on command without seeing one actually fall. Because in the training, you got two types of marks two types of birds we pick up. The ones we see fall or the ones they see fall. The ones we see fall and they don't see fall. So then we got to tell them where they're at. So, and y'all use your imagination a little bit. He didn't see them fall, but I can get him. Come here. All right, see, he's wanting that one. But I want him to pick up this one. Come here. All right, right. Dead bird. Where's it at? Right there. Back. Drop. He just enjoys life. Drop. Come here, we're going to get this one. Come here, right here. Back. Drop. Back. Drop. Right, place. It's basically, you know, training one of these things that really loves to retrieve like he does. You're trying to control insanity. I mean, it's wild, you know, and a lot of times I get asked to train different dogs, and some you can train at certain levels and some you can't. But you're shaping insanity is basically what you're doing here. So anyway, did y'all see that Rocky, he loves that, right? But there's some equipment that goes along with this. And one of the big things is this right here. Who'd be willing to give it a go? Let's see what it feels like. Nobody? Surely somebody in here would volunteer for that. No? But do you think he loves to see this thing come out? No? Come here, Rocky. Well, y'all can't see him right here, can you? I'll step up here. Come here. He should hate it, right? Come here. You want that? Does he look like he don't like it? It's a correctional device, yes. But it doesn't have to be your enemy. It doesn't have to be his enemy. But guess what? When he sees this, he knows he's fixing to have some fun. Come here. So just because it's a correctional device does not mean that it has to be used in a bad manner. Come here. Let's see what else we got here. All right, we done covered that. Now, here's a question right here. Y'all can see some of the stuff that we've done. You want to just sit right there? I'll just let you stay right there. How much do you think Rocky would be worth money value? You know, I'll just say he's 6 years old, so labs really, once they get to be 8 years old, is really kind of they're usually working good at 8, but their years are limited after 8 years. Some of them go to 12 years old, you know, still as a working dog, but a lot of them don't. But you just say him in his prime, at 3 to 4 years old with his hunter retriever champion, you know, that's most of the time they sell for $10,000 and up. So here's a dog, monetarily value $10,000, but guess what he is? He's just a dumb dog. Now, value to me, reckon how much he's worth. Probably a divorce. Because if I was to get rid of him, I would have a divorce, and somebody would take all the money that I got from him, at least half of it. And she would probably burn my truck and whatever else too. So anyway, I can't put a price on but here's my question. Y'all get what I'm saying, even though I can't hardly answer it. How much are we worth to God? Place. Y'all look up Luke 12. I just realized something here. I got a split verse here, and I'm going to read it, but it's 12:24, Luke 12:24 and 32. And I've got it printed out. I didn't realize this when I printed that out. Actually, I'm going to open it up in my Bible here. We got a minute. I thought it was two verses right there together, and I had copied and pasted and didn't realize that it was like that. So Matthew 12:20, or Luke, I'm sorry. Chrissy's taking care of me there. I think that was Chrissy's voice. Was that you? All right. Oh, Dixie, my other favorite sister-in-law. So, you know, they talk about raising kids as a family thing, but for me, whenever I get up here and preach, it's a family thing because I got to have my brain, I got to have my sisters, and so. But hopefully, when we get it all done, we'll have the message out there, and it'll come out okay. So, we'll look at 12:24, and I still ain't found 12. I'm on 22. There ain't no doubt y'all be able to find a verse faster than me on this one. All right, 12, verse 24. And it says, when the unclean spirit gone out, and that is nowhere near what I've got down there. That's 11. I see what's going on now. My wife's laughing at me now. I think I found it now. Okay, here we go. Consider the ravens. Do y'all even remember what we was talking about here? I've forgotten, so I'll refresh our memory here. We're looking at how much we're valued to God. How much does God value us? So, consider the ravens, for neither sow nor reap, which neither have storehouse nor barn, and God feedeth them. And how much more are ye better than the fowls? So, I've got a dumb dog here that I can't put a price on. You know, when we worry about these things, but God, He takes care of not just the dumb dogs, but all the animals out there. And guess who He cares about more than that? Look up John 3:16, and y'all really ain't even got to look this up. Samuel, can you quote John 3:16? He's done left on me. Who can quote John 3:16? Surely somebody can in here. That's one we know by heart. So, He takes care of the birds and the animals. But He gave His life for us. How much does He care about us? How much does He care about your salvation, your life, your spiritual life? Not just here, but your afterlife, if that's what you want to call it. Now back to Rocky. And we done discussed the training equipment and, you know, how bad it can be. Now who thinks that when I got Rocky that he just jumped off the truck when we got home and he could do this stuff? How much work do you think went into that? A lot. Do you think he enjoyed all of the training? No. But we've seen the training equipment. He did not enjoy a lot of it. Do you think that he knew how advanced he was going to take his training at that point? He had no idea. No idea how advanced he was going to go with that. And he still don't really know. He's just doing what he loves. Now here's my question. Why does he put up with all the abuse I dole out to be able to learn this stuff? It ain't me. It ain't me. Come here, Rocky. You see this right here? Come here. He'll do anything for this bumper. And he's took a lot of abuse to be able to play with this. I mean, that's the only way that he has put up with all this and learned. Sit. You ready? Rocky. You see that? Somebody said me, but look here. Come here. Come here. Here. All right, see, he wants this thing. Do you think he wants to be petted by me? Well, he's letting me, but he wants that thing. All right, come here. Place. Boy, what are you doing? Get back on your place. You know better than that. All right, I should have told y'all keep your finger in James chapter 1, because we're going to go back and look at James chapter 1, verses 3 and 4. Now, this took years to get to this level. I think y'all can appreciate that this is several small steps of little corrections here, little corrections there, and things that are not enjoyable for him, mixed with a whole lot of stuff that is enjoyable for him. So, all right, James chapter 1, verse 3 and 4. Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience, but let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. Now, can we be perfect? We can, but we're descendants from Adam, and we're born sinner, right? We come clean, so there may be some little grace to that. So maybe it sounds like it. But here's the key question that we're looking at. And hey, I looked up something in the dictionary this week. I got to tell my brain this. I looked up something in the dictionary this week so I could sound like I'm smart. There's a key word in this here that says patience. Did y'all catch that word in that verse? Patience. We all want perfection. We go out and get religion, and we're going to be perfect. But there's a little problem there. We skip a little word. And what is patience? The capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, suffering without getting angry or upset. So here we are, born to die in a miserable world. But guess what we got to have? We got to have patience, because God gives us all these promises. And yeah, we can be perfect. God has died for us so that we can be perfect. But we can't just go work it out. We got to be patient and let God do it. How many days did he get scolded, unenjoyable problems that happened to get to this level? There's one thing, we always somebody was telling me the other day they was having trouble typing out something on the phone, and they was complaining about it. And I have trouble texting on these new iPhones. And I said, I wish you could text one day with my thumbs. And then you would appreciate yours when it comes to the iPhone. But to stay in the faith of Christ, to get this new life he gives us, And in the 1 Corinthians 15:22, we just read half the verse. It says, "For in Adam we all die. But even so in Christ shall be made alive." But here's the thing. To teach Rocky all this stuff, he's got to have the love for this one thing right here. That is a foundation that I cannot do anything else with them retrieving. I can force them to do obedience. And it carries out through their whole training. No matter to what point we get to. If they lose the love for this, the progression stops. Come here, Rocky. Come here. Sit. Uh-oh. You going to get that, Mr. Clark? Rocky. Drop. No, you can't have that one. Here you go. Place. No matter what point we are in our Christian life, once we've accepted Christ, His love has to be number one priority. We've looked at all the perils that we go through. And Paul tells us it should be a blessing to us. But if you don't have that love for Christ in your heart, it's not a blessing. It's crushing. Keep Jesus first in all your decisions, all your life. And guess what? One day, you will be perfect. Christ is going to come get us. But we have to have His love as number one. If we don't, it's not working. Anyway, do we have closing prayer and then closing song, or do we do song first? All right. So we're going to wrap that up now. And is Miss Lisa, are you doing the piano, or you want to pick out a closing song? Because I didn't come up with anything.